You can call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Jean Silva takes on Melsik Baghdasaryan on the main card of UFC Fight Night Seattle, Washington. And I think this is going to be an absolute barn burner. I think this is going to be fight of the night, more than likely, between these two guys. Jean Silva, the man needs no introduction. Been in the UFC for a short time now, but getting a lot of hype behind the guy. He's just a very, very exciting guy. Fights out of the Fighting Nerds gym, which seems to just kind of be taking over in a lot of different divisions. Kyle Baralho, Jean Silva, several other high-profile fighters in the UFC right now. But only 28 years old, 5'7", 69-inch reach. Very powerful striker. Throws head kicks, front kicks, flying knees, tons of power in the feet. Will stand and bang with the best of them, but also has very good defense. So he stands in the pocket, he'll throw punches, but you don't see him getting cracked a lot. You don't see him getting hurt really ever. Very good takedown defense. If he does get taken down, he pops up really quickly. Jiu-jitsu black belt, of course. So moved up to 155 in his last fight, which was against Drew Dober. He had fought pretty recently before that, ended up taking the fight with Drew Dober at 155. Was kind of beating up Dober that entire fight over 3 rounds, cut him over the eye, ended up getting the doctor stoppage. Before that was fighting Charles Jourdain, beating up Charles Jourdain on the feet, caused Jourdain to start shooting for takedowns, looking to clinch Jean Silva. Jean Silva kind of shucks off a little takedown attempt off of the cage, hits him with an uppercut, and gets a walk-off KO. Before that, just kind of embarrassed Weston Wilson. I was watching that footage back for this, just screaming why they weren't stopping that fight. He took way too many punches. Shouldn't have had to take that much damage. But Baghdasaryan, Melsik Baghdasaryan, fights out of Armenia, fights out of I think it's Glendale Fight Club. Is that the name? But anyways, Edmund Tarverdyan's gym, unfortunately, the guy who kind of ruined Ronda Rousey's career. Edmund Shabazian started there and eventually moved to Extreme Couture, thankfully, and we've seen how good Edmund Shabazian looked last week. But he's 8-2, been doing Muay Thai since he was a kid, from what I've heard. 31 years old, 5'9", 70-inch reach, very big guy for this division. This is 145. Yeah, I can't believe he makes 145, but very big dude, very strong, southpaw striker, great head kicks, front kicks, crane kicks, you name it, this dude's throwing it. Very fast, powerful back leg kicks to the body, to the head, gets up decently well from takedowns. Doesn't have the best resume in the world. You look at his last few fights, recently coming over a win over Tucker Lutz. We're just kind of beating him up on the feet. Before that, Josh Kulabau was really beating up Kulabau. I think he got taken down and then just pretty quickly rear naked choked by him. After that, Bruno Souza beat him up. Colin Anglin was beating him up, knocked him out in round 2. Won a decision over Dennis Bazooka in the Contender Series, but he just hasn't been the most active guy in the world. This will be his 6th fight in 5 years. Taking on an absolute killer in Jean Silva. So I gotta go Jean Silva. He's just he looks unstoppable as of late, whereas Melsik Baghdasaryan going to decisions with guys that he should be putting out, that I think Jean Silva puts out cold, like Tucker Lutz and Bruno Souza, Dennis Bazooka, who's 4-1 at the time. So for being such a high profile, powerful, scary kickboxer, he's not putting people out the way that I think that he should. Jean Silva, this guy's just nasty. Super nice guy, you can tell. Even in the fights, he's laughing, he's high-fiving, he's hugging, but that dude is out there to take your head off. And that's what we've seen him do in his last 3 fights. All of his fights in the UFC, except his one against Kevin Vallejos, who's really good. He was 11-0 at the time. Kevin Vallejos, I think he's fighting out of Argentina. Recently went back to the regional scene, got 2 wins, 2 finishes, and recently put out Cam Teague on the Contender Series back in September. So very tough guy. Didn't get the finish, but did beat him on a very big stage, the Contender Series. but he is 14-2. His only 2 losses were to by decision and split decision back in 2018 and 2017. So the guy hasn't lost in, I'm not great at math, 6-7 years. Been on an absolute tear, knocking guys out. Has a great gym behind him. He's going to have the grappling advantage. He's going to be able to match Baghdasaryan's striking power and striking prowess. I don't think that he's going to back down from Baghdasaryan. So, but I do think that if he does get in trouble, he can shoot, get the takedown, and sub Baghdasaryan fairly easily. If Culibao is subbing him that easily, Jean Silva is going to sub him even easier. So I think the odds are crazy for this one. Jean Silva is just like a crazy -575 to a +425. That's just crazy to me, just because Baghdasaryan is just an absolute savage on the feet as well. So didn't expect those big of odds. I do think there's some value on Baghdasaryan on keeping it on the feet and doing enough to win the decision over Jean Silva. But Jean Silva's he's just an absolute savage. He's like I don't know, he's like a Tasmanian tiger. And I think he's got more ways to win. He's got a lot of momentum on his side. And I think he gets this one done. I think he can finish Melsik Baghdasaryan. I think he's got enough power. I think he can find his openings on the feet. But I also think that he could get the sub. So I'm going to go by finish by Jean Silva to keep this finish streak going. If I had to guess, I would say KO. But I do think he could hurt him or look for the takedown and get the sub. So I'm going to go with Jean Silva by finish. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks.